What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick. I've studied the blade, Cactus, and today we're all about to study the blade, specifically the Praxic Blade, because oh my goodness, do I have an unbelievably broken Praxic Blade combo to show you today. And I do mean broken, in the sense that it is doing some unbelievably powerful things, specifically some things that I don't think Bungie intended for it to do. What the heck am I talking about? Well, let's get started. Alright, so everyone knows the lightsaber, the Praxic Blade Exotic Sword, is an unbelievably powerful addition to Destiny 2. It's probably the best exotic weapon we've gotten in years. Everyone's using it, and it is truly so good, right? But there's a way to make it so much more powerful. If you already thought the Praxic Blade was good, wait until you can see what it can do with this combo. Now, this combo specifically involves the brand new Equilibrium Dungeon armor set, which is called Sage Protector. So, what exactly does this armor set do? Well, both the 2-piece and the 4-piece are extremely good for any sword in the game, frankly, but obviously the best sword in the game right now is the Praxic Blade, so it benefits just an extra degree. Now, let's take a look at, first of all, the 2-piece armor bonus. It's called Combat Meditation. Sword hits return grenade and class energy, because remember, if you have your sword out, you can use your grenade and class ability still, but your melee is taken up. It's just going to swing the sword when you press your melee button. And bonus energy is granted if blade focus is active. That brings us to the 4-piece, which is blade focus. Briefly guard with a sword to ready blade focus. While blade focus is readied, hitting a target with your sword increases sword damage and lunge distance for a moderate duration. So, first of all, let's talk about that 4-piece, because that is what everyone was blown away by. We really do not get a lot of armor sets in the game that influence damage. If they do, it's to an extremely minor degree, like the TechSec armor set. But this one is saying, yeah, buddy, you just straight up do more sword damage, which obviously we want to do. So how does this actually function in game? Well, as you can see right here, for a basic light attack, I'm going to deal 301 damage. Then, to activate the perk, I need to start blocking. And in the bottom left corner of my screen, after blocking for a while, you will see Blade Focus Ready. So that is actually very important. You don't actually need to block any incoming damage. You don't need an enemy to shoot at you. You just need to start blocking, and after a little bit, like a second or so, it will activate. Now, when you have Blade Focus ready, the next hit you perform on a target, you will trigger Blade Focus. Now, importantly, this hit still does 301 damage. It doesn't get any bonus damage, but every hit after that, as you can see, will now deal 331 damage. And you can also see from this clip just how long Blade Focus lasts. It's definitely noticeable. Like, you're going to be able to perform quite a few swings before it eventually goes away and your damage will go back down to a base level. Now, at this point, you can simply start blocking again and reactivate it. And so that's a good old 10% damage bonus. And you can see in the background gameplay, I put back on all of these sword seasonal artifact perks, and I do 2 sword combos in a row, both without and with blade focus. And you can see the difference in DPS and total damage. And yeah, it's around a 10% bonus. Obviously, the downside of this is that you have to spend a little bit of time blocking to activate this perk, right? But there's a lot of scenarios out there where you're about to fight the boss, right? But they're immune at first. They're doing an animation, your teammate is activating a mechanic to make the boss damageable, or you're just waiting for enemies to spawn in, why wouldn't you be blocking to get that free 10% damage boost? But it's not just a damage boost, we also have that lunge bonus, and you can see the difference right here in the background gameplay. Without the lunge, I jump, I swing, I am not getting to these enemies. But with Blade Focus active, it's kind of like having an Eager Edge perk for every single sword swing when you have this armor perk active. So free Eager Edge and a 10% damage bonus. We're already off to a great start, but what if I told you the real power, the broken factor, actually just comes from the 2-piece bonus? Now make no mistake, if you can get a 4-piece together, obviously if you're already using a sword, more damage, lunge distance is incredibly powerful. But yeah, the 2-piece is bananas. So at a base level, here's what the 2-piece is going to do. As you can see right here, I throw my grenade, I start attacking this enemy, and every time I hit this enemy with my sword, I get a little chunk of grenade energy. Now, how much of a difference does this actually make? Well, at a base level, I'm going to throw my grenade and use my class ability. How long does it take for my grenade to recharge? Don't worry, I'm not going to make you guys sit through all of it. It's around 49 seconds at a base level. I have over 100 grenade, by the way. Then I'm going to conduct the same experiment. I'm going to throw my grenade, use my class ability. How fast does it recharge with constant light attacks? Well, it's now down to like 21 seconds. So I have more than halved my grenade recharge. And remember, if you activate Blade Focus first, you get even more ability regen, to the point where we cut the time down to only about 12 seconds to get your entire grenade back. And that's with me taking the time to stand there and activate Blade Focus. That's crazy. And again, at a base level, nothing crazy, nothing broken yet. That's already quite good. Twice as many grenades, right? And twice as many or more class abilities as well. And I'm using Warlock here, so my Phoenix Dive, like that's a healing class ability. That's very, very good for just doing what I was already going to do with a sword, which is attack enemies with it. But here's where we get into the broken territory, the insane territory. And that is the fact that the way this armor perk is coded, it thinks any damage related to your sword is also just straight up sword swings. Here's what I mean by that. If I put on the Sword Storm combo seasonal artifact perk, which is going to make the blades, the phantom blades, swing around me after I perform a combo with my Praxic Blade, as you guys can clearly see, every single instance of damage counts as a sword hit. Look at my grenade and class ability. They literally jettison up. So it thinks, the game thinks, I am hitting this enemy at 900 rounds per minute, at 900 sword swings per minute, because every single damage instance is counted as a sword swing and gives me that chunk of grenade energy back. So right there, already absolutely wild combo. Use it with that seasonal artifact perk and you are going to regen your grenade in literal seconds. Like you can see, I'm just doing like one Praxic Blade combo, triggering riposte, and I get like my entire abilities back. It's actually crazy. But what if I told you there's something else that works in this same way that you can actually add to this combo to make it even more broken? And that is, if you're using a solar super and then you have a power core on your Praxic Blade, specifically I have the Impact Core, which is going to add a scorch effect on my hits. It turns out the way the game is coded, every single instance of scorch damage you have, so every single scorch tick, counts as a sword swing and will give you ability regeneration. That's right. As you can see right here, I hit this enemy once and then it's tick, 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 tick from all the scorches. my abilities are rocketing up. So you can combine those two things. Riposte swinging around. Every single hit you get gives you ability energy. You're using a scorching blade. Every single tick of scorch damage, every single ignition counts as additional hits. Look how fast I get my grenade and class ability back. It is genuinely instantaneous when I am using a solar super with riposte. Like, I have infinity grenades. I just do one Praxic Blade combo, my grenade is back. And so, right here, I am using the Getaway Artist Prismatic Warlock build. That is a god tier build, guys. That is an insanely good build, and it's all based around me using my grenades, consuming my grenades actually for my arc buddy. But when I'm using this combo, when I'm using the Sage Protector armor set, guys, I am getting so many grenades. I've just started to throw them because I'll summon an arc buddy and then I just start attacking everything and then I just start chucking grenades. I am spamming my class ability for constant healing. It is really, really insane. So again, the fact that it counts every single weird instance of damage triggered by your sword as actual sword swings, your grenade regen is just, it's actually crazy. Now again, you do have to really pull this combo off. You got to use a solar super, but you could easily just not use that. You could be on a void subclass. A great example, using the Controverse Hold broken void warlock build. Like, that is a crazy, crazy build, guys. Now, obviously, you're not going to get those, ticking scorch instances, but you're going to be weakening targets, and then your riposte is going to give you so much more grenade, so you can have constant supercharged grenades. Like, you can really start doing a lot of stuff, and that's just on the warlock. I haven't even talked about the titan, haven't even talked about the hunter, but truly insane ability regen because of this armor set. So definitely, guys, you should try to get this as soon as possible. That is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.